hidden proof of ancient civilization and forbidden history. There are claims that beneath the Vatican lie maps and artifacts revealing the true origin of humanity, possibly linked to Atlantis, Lemuria, or Tartaria. Evidence of giants, Nephilim skeletons, or relics described in Genesis and apocryphal texts.
I mean, this sort of stuff blows their story, so I'd hide it too, if I wanted to keep my business going. I don't know of any physical proof of Atlantis or Lemuria, and certainly not Tartaria, but the stories are so ingrained in humanity. Perhaps the only physical thing I know about of Atlantis is of Bimini, the triangle, what do you call it? Bermuda Triangle. There they have found underwater structures there, which would line up with the stories of Atlantis. So if they've got something else, that would be really nice to know, frankly. Yeah, about these skeletons and things, well, that's a possibility too. I mean, we hear of all sorts of strange things turning up around the planet, still.
Confirmed documents already show Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, signor.
I don't know more Italian.
Yeah, that's good.
I
That's
can just say
enough.
buongiorno. All right. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic.
I see.
Why can't I hear
How
myself?
interesting.
Well, wait. Now I can hear myself. All right.
No comets tonight?
No.
No aliens?
No, nothing. None of that.
Oi.
None of that bullshit.
Ah, okay. Some other bullshit.
I guess. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. There is no lack of bullshit to talk about, to
Okay.
be honest. Yeah.
All right.
Recently I figured out.
Ah,
Yeah. There's
let's
a lot
hear
going
it.
on.
What's happening?
Well, we want to figure out if we can get to the bottom of the secrets that Vatican holds.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't think we can.
No. But it's interesting to speculate.
Yeah.
I would say in defense of the Vatican slightly, that, no, not really defense, but I see the Vatican as like a political organization like any other, like a big government, and they have their plan, their vision, their story. That's the word I'm after. And probably anything that doesn't match their story is going to get stuffed out of sight. So, I don't think it's a big surprise that the Vatican has secrets. And I'm pretty sure they're on many different levels too. I mean, there must be a file on all the scandals that have happened and all the naughty things that have gone on. That's maybe one level. But then I'm pretty sure we're going to come down to knowledge. That's the biggie, Things that don't match the Catholic story, whatever they can be. And I think we could do some really good speculating on what that could be, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, good.
Well, what I'm thinking about right now is that before, when I was hearing about Vatican and like the secrets, the underground base under the archive that they have and stuff like
Okay.
that, I was like, yeah, this sounds like a little kooky conspiracy. But I
that
did a
would.
little digging, and it feels like there is a lot of evidence for all the accusations, all the suspicions are kind of, there is like at least some evidence for it. Maybe they cannot prove it. And then I was like, we should make an episode about it. We should at least mention it.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I have actually seen a number of videos and read a fair deal about it. I'm no expert, but the church won't deny it either. I mean, they may not come forward with the whole truth. We will never know that, but I don't think they're that secretive about their secrets themselves. I mean, that they have secrets, you know.
I think they are. Yeah. Okay.
They admit there's stuff. That's
They
what I
have
mean.
their own country, man.
I know. Yeah.
They have their own state,
Yeah. And,
their own law, and
a vast influence on the planet. Let's not forget that. Their country's little, but not their influence. It's enormous.
both legitimately and with
Under the carpet, little.
Well, that's the rabbit hole that you go down when you read about Vaticans and the
Yes.
three different popes: Black Pope, Red Pope, and White Pope.
Oh, okay. I don't know about this, but yeah.
I hope I didn't mess this up. But and their influence and their position. The Black Pope is on top.
Okay.
Anyway, we don't want to get into that because that's
their
on
business.
the fringe side of it. Today we're gonna try to mention not all of them, but most famous conspiracies about Vatican and what they hide under the archive, not the archive itself, but under it. And we will try to give you citing of people that are involved in those research and evidence. And yeah, that's the best we can do. So listen to it, watch it, enjoy it, and comment and let us know what you think. What you think is true or is close to reality, or what you think is total BS.
I'd like to sort of add another layer to this too, just to make it interesting. And if we come back to the fact that we are all one with everything, that means that really we are part of the Vatican and the secrets there. But might be fun just to think, okay, what secrets do we hide within our subconscious too? What do we hide from ourselves, or what are we not ready to face? So I think as we're talking, it might be fun too to look on that level. I know one of mine is that I know I'm capable of doing a lot more than what I do. But do you think I'm going to look at that and figure out how? It stays stuffed in the back of this thing here, and until I'm really got the courage to take it out and say, okay, what then? What are you capable of? But I'm not doing it yet. It's sort of pushed down.
Yeah, there is this Japanese wisdom quote that they say, you have 4 different layers of you.
Yeah, I believe that. Probably more.
One that you show to people, most people. The second one that you show to your close circle, those who you love and those who you are surrounded with.
Yes.
The one that you show only to yourself.
Oh, that one.
And there is one that you don't even show to yourself.
Yes. Well, there you go. Yeah.
So these
That's
are the
Vatican
layers
seller.
of your personality and ego and who you are.
Yeah.
So based on those layers, but I just said that because it was related to what you said.
Yeah,
but what I want to add to what you said is that if you hide something from yourself, as the last layer of what is the truth about you, what is true you.
Yes.
That's not gonna have any consequence for other people.
No.
And the difference between what the Vatican do and what you can do within you,
is
that it's not gonna affect majority of
it
people
might,
in the world.
But it'll affect me first.
Yeah. But it has a lesser so effect on other people.
Yes. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you.
What Vatican do is opposite.
Yeah.
Because they know the truth. Probably they know our origin. They know it's been a civilization for maybe a million years on this planet. They have technology, probably. These are all probable. None of them have been proved. So,
But see, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know it better than anyone else, but that's what I mentioned about the Catholic story would not allow earlier civilizations. That goes against their little thing
their
that they're selling.
6,000-year-old window.
Yeah, that's not what they're selling, So of course it gets stuffed down. Yeah. I'm not neither defending nor condemning them. I'm just stating how I see that their system works, And actually one specific thing, which I learnt this from my mother when I was a kid. Apparently in one of the Gospels, don't ask me which one. Anyway, they talk in great detail about reincarnation. And around 600 AD, there was some great conference of Constantinople, as I heard from my mother. I've heard it called other names too, that they consciously removed that from the scriptures.
What year did you say?
600 AD. That's about as much as I know of that, but that it was removed because then if people know that we reincarnate, then the Catholic Church hasn't got the same degree of control over people. As it is now. You have to come to the church to reach God. That's the only way. And pay a bit of money on the way too. That's me being facetious, but there you go. So that's the starting point of one thing that I think you'll find is documented as a secret, a documented secret in the system.
Yeah, definitely. We can talk about just that for a podcast, but I just want to go through these points that I gathered together.
Excellent. Yeah,
and we can discuss it briefly and move on to the next, because then we have enough time to go through it all.
Yeah,
and then we can have an episode of each one of those points, each one of those allegations.
I think yes. Just following on what you're saying, I think would be really interesting to look at. Okay, if this sort of information was public, what would it mean for human evolution? Or what would it have meant if 2,000 years ago, it was open knowledge? Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Yeah,
because that then gives us some specific connection to all this stuff. It's not just secrets, but okay, it's secrets that could have been a part of us, could have taken us here or there, or All right, let's get going, dude.
All right. The first one is lost historical texts and forbidden knowledge.
Yeah, well, that's partly what I was touching on.
Yeah, which it covers a very broad aspect of what it can mean. Many historians suspect that the Vatican has safeguarded texts that could rewrite parts of human history, such as pre-Christian scrolls from the Library of Alexandria, which supposedly it's been set on fire, but they save some very important scrolls from that.
Would be fantastic to know there were some left.
Yeah,
because it had such an incredible reputation, that library. I thought it was tidal wave or something that. Was it a fire? I didn't realize that. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I'm not sure, actually.
Okay.
The other one is Gospels excluded from the Bible, which most people know about those. Including writings like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, Gospel of Judas, and Book of Enoch, which is the most famous one. Everybody knows about the Book of Enoch.
Yes, even I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of that, yeah.
But Ethiopian Bible has the Book of Enoch still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been
Oh, it's interesting.
it's been taken out of Western countries' Bible, but Ethiopian have it still.
Actually, would be studying Ethiopian Christianity would be quite interesting too, because they seem to have really gone their own way.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of their amazing carved church there, supposedly with some mysterious object inside.
Some believe they keep the Ark of the Covenant there.
I heard so too.
And by some, I mean Graham Hancock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A specific someone.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's a sidetrack, but it would be an interesting thing to research.
Definitely,
Yeah.
So, ancient astrological, alchemical, and magical texts, which is, you better believe there are some, magic spells and texts and
I do. Yeah, of course.
knowledge of alchemy to turn the whatever iron to gold and stuff like that, or opening up portals and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. I come from a family of famous witches. It's true.
You do?
Yes. Well, especially one famous witch, but there were others. Yes, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
In Scotland. Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that a little? Scotland?
Yes.
Okay. Scottish.
If we have time, I
Do you
can
know
tell
any
you.
Scottish magic spell you can teach us?
No, not directly, I don't, sorry.
Oh.
But I can tell you very quickly about my most famous ancestor. She lived around the time of King James. I believe it's 1600, that era there. And her name was Doidiega Muilich. And she lived on the island of Mull and Iona, which is where my family is from, my grandfather's family. And she is the most famous. Oh, this was about the time of the Inquisition and all that stuff going on too. But at the same time, she was this amazing, very powerful witch. She was also the abbess of Iona, which Iona was the...
Abbess? What does that mean?
Abbess. She was the chief nun, you could say,
okay.
of a nunnery there.
I get it.
There was an abbey, which is for the monks, and
Abbess.
yeah, abbess, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this island, Iona, this is where Christianity came to northern England and Scotland in 652 AD. Again by some of my ancestors, but that's another story. Anyway,
what was the religion before Christianity?
I suppose they would have been called pagans. They were Picts, and they would have had their own religion relating to nature and the likes. Yeah. But that's slight speculation for me. I'm not totally sure on the details of that. Anyway, back to Doidiega. What happened was King James wanted to take the MacLean land, and he sent a couple of warships up there to bomb the hell out of Jewett Castle, which was the MacLean stronghold. And after 6 weeks, nothing happened. They didn't even make a dent in anything. And so the two ships sailed away to nearby islands, also belonging to the MacLean clan, but not fortified. And they slaughtered everyone on those islands, men, women, children, the lots. And then came back and continued to bombard Jewett Castle. And dear old Doidiega heard what had happened, and she lived up on the mountaintop above, looking down towards Jewett Castle. And she created this huge storm which swept down from the mountain and dragged the two warships out onto a reef where they sunk and everyone was drowned. But it took so much power from her that she died 3 weeks later.
Understandable.
Yes. But what a force.
But is that being recorded?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. It's
what is it? What is it called? The tale of
Doidiega Muilich. Yes, my sister's researching a book on her right now, actually. I felt like she didn't really mean to die so quickly, and she didn't finish her time on Earth, and maybe she would like to add her story through us. But yes, so there you go. That's a total aside to the Vatican, but it's a very interesting little side.
Well,
Because, of course, there would have been Catholics that
yeah.
were there doing the naughty stuff.
Well, two things about that.
Yes.
The King James, he was a weirdo. And even
And what do you expect?
the Bible version that he wrote down has so many fucking weird things in it that compared to other Bibles.
Oh, well, yeah. Are you surprised?
No, but it's like he like interpret his own beliefs in the text. Like he insert unicorn in the in the King James version of Bible several times.
Oh,
throughout the whole book.
okay, as you do.
Yeah, it's like I'm writing it.
That's
What the
amazing.
fuck are you gonna do? I'm writing it.
I didn't know that. I'll tell you another story about King James another time from another ancestor, but that's sidetracking too much.
Yeah, all right. But the other thing is that gives more merit to this part that they kept some, magic spell and everything. They killed all the witches.
Yes.
The famous witch hunt.
Except Diego.
Except Diego.
She hid as an abbess in the monastery.
Diego. I love to pronounce her name. Diego.
Diego Mojlic.
Diego Mojlic.
Mojlic, yeah.
Mojlic.
It's a Gaelic name.
Diego Mojlic.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, all right. Close enough. So they probably, when they kill them, they probably save all the belongings and everything, takes and like whatever they use. And
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So they kept the records of all these witches, and they probably gathered all in that secret archive of them.
But see, this is sort of part of the church propaganda thing too. The witches' knowledge and wisdom is outside of their story. So take it away. It's like
same pattern, yeah.
It's a propaganda thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole Vatican stuffing things down thing. Yeah. Anyway, yep.
Try to not cover my angle on the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Go low.
Oh, I'll do it down here.
It's like they did it. All right.
I just want to point out something more about this thing about where was it?
Astrological, alchemical.
Oh yeah, roughly about that. That it's very common knowledge that the church has assimilated what they called pagan or hedonistic rituals into the church. They didn't all just disappear, but they became a part of their version of Christianity. For example, Easter. Esther was the original word, and as I understand it, it was a Middle Eastern
goddess.
Well, she may have been a goddess too, but I was going to say it was a ceremony to celebrate spring and new life, fertility. Hence the eggs. And
by Middle Eastern, you mean Persian?
I don't know more details than that.
We celebrate the New Year first day of a spring.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's our New Year.
You know more than I do. Yeah,
Nowruz.
But I mean, so
I better. I'm Persian.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, what sort of Persian are you? Gee, Marnie. Oh, good. Well, there you go. But I'm saying, a lot of stuff actually hasn't vanished. It's just been absorbed, And Santa Claus, he's not particularly Christian, but
German.
Yes, but originally it was a Turkish Saint Nicholas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was a real person, yeah. And he's not particularly to do with the church, but he's certainly into the Christian way of life.
It has even a symbol when the Christianity and paganism merged. Did you see that symbol?
No, I don't know that.
I want to show you.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just think that's another aspect of what we're talking about. Things don't necessarily all completely get pushed down, but sort of swallowed up.
Yeah. All right. So, and that was the section for lost historical texts and forbidden knowledge.
Yes. Okay.
Like quickly we touched on it, you know. Moving forward, evidence of extraterrestrial contact or non-human intelligence. So apparently they keep this, they kept it for thousands and thousands of years. The evidence of extraterrestrial. And I'm not talking about like 1950s,
No.
you know.
Yeah.
Like from
Further back.
Yeah, ancient. And
I'll just hop on the Christian side for a moment here, dude. Yeah, right with you. But in actual fact, there are certain references in the Bible to obvious UFO thingies. Like I think about like Ezekiel, he saw a wheel within a wheel turning in the sky. I think I got it right there. And then there's the burning bushes of Moses and several things that sound like extraterrestrial activity in some way.
those are more sightings, but this what they talk about is evidence, like physical or biological evidence.
Okay.
So it's like more than just stories, or like even it can be true, like wheels of fire or whatever.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you cannot prove it. They have evidence that, you know, biological and technological evidence that they can prove that
and I can
out of this world.
well believe that, but that needs to stay on speculation level till we see it ourselves.
Yeah, it is. This one is on the conspiracy side.
Yes. But I mean, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. How they got their hands on it's another matter. We don't know that either.
Yeah.
But most definitely, that wouldn't surprise me. But I really doubt if any extraterrestrial would come to Earth and say, "Oh, we'll go and talk to those religious people there." I don't think that's happened. It must have come in. If they have physical evidence, it would have come some other way.
It's more like they found stuff, biological lives.
Yes.
And they were the power to be at the time.
Yeah.
So they
maybe still
confiscated and kept it secret.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah, well, I would say still speculating, but I'd say that's very possible.
It is speculating. That's all we do here.
Yes, I know. Well, mainly.
Yeah, for the most part. Okay. Conspiracy theories and UFO researchers often point to the Vatican's long-running interest in astronomy, including ownership of the Vatican Observatory and telescopes like Lucifer. What the hell? They have a telescope they called Lucifer, and it's the initials.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. Yes, the name raised eyebrows. Eyebrows? I shit my pants.
But okay, let's stop on the astronomy thing there for a minute, because if we go back into the Renaissance.
Do you want to read this from the start? I think I didn't do a good job with it.
If you can make the writing a bit bigger, I will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll just blab on about the Renaissance thing.
Maybe it helps me too to see it bigger.
I should hope so.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just going to say, poor old Galileo Galilei, who discovered, I think I got my facts right here, discovered that the sun does not go around the earth, but the earth goes around the sun. They were going to do very mean things to him because of that, because, again, it went against their story that a scientific person could prove otherwise the original plot. Of course, we know differently now, but back then...
Yeah, conspiracy theories and UFO researchers often point to the Vatican's long-running interest in astronomy, including ownership of the Vatican Observatory and telescopes like Lucifer, which stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. Yes, the name raised eyebrows.
Eyebrows raised.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I believe it, but never mind. That's another matter.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure they're interested in what's happening out in space. Who wouldn't be?
Okay, let's see what they got. Rumors suggest documents on early contact with sky gods or beings of light, reference in ancient religious texts.
Yeah, or angels,
Mhm.
amongst others.
Artifacts or correspondence related to secret Vatican US government, collaboration on UFOs and disclosure. That is very likely to be the case.
Well, they're two similar bodies, political bodies, aren't they? United States government and Vatican. Yeah, that makes sense.
Big brother, little brother.
Not sure which is the big and which is the little, frankly,
The
dude.
Vatican.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. They run the whole world
Yeah.
for centuries and centuries, millennial.
But, I mean, the United States government is doing their version of the same thing, aren't they?
More or less,
Yeah. Like we're the ones in control and there's no aliens out there that are bigger and better than us. No. We're the biggest, smartest. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, as the Vatican will probably want to do too. So I think that's totally understandable.
All right. Records of extraterrestrial relics allegedly discovered in the Middle East during Crusades.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. During the Crusades, like long time ago.
Yeah, cool.
So they found these relics, probably some technology, some devices that they were like, what the fuck? Hush, yeah. Go
think about the Ark of the Covenant. That sounds a bit kind of out there, doesn't it? Some radioactive machine or something, possibly. But I know it's, just on that point, I know it's apparently caused a lot of people that come close to it to shorten their lifespan drastically.
These monks in Ethiopia, they're the one that are responsible for taking care of that. They go blind and they live like maximum 3-4 years.
Yeah, I heard so too.
And they switch
Yes.
to another.
God.
Yeah.
Slow suicide. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Hidden proof of ancient civilization and forbidden history. There are claims that beneath the Vatican lie maps and artifacts revealing the true origin of humanity, which I wholeheartedly believe that. It's just my belief, okay. Possibly linked to Atlantis, Lemuria, or Tartaria.
All right.
Or all the above, all three. Evidence of giants, Nephilim skeletons, or relics described in Genesis and apocryphal texts, that's like a whole different subject. Apocryphal texts.
Yes, I bet.
Who decided that is apocryphal? Oh, Vatican Church, Catholic Church. Definitely.
We're sort of on the same track, though, isn't it? I mean, this sort of stuff blows their story. So I'd hide it too, if I wanted to keep my business going. Yeah, absolutely. There was no Atlantis or Lemuria. I don't personally believe in Tartaria one bit, but the other two, yeah. But
there is evidence for a Tartaria.
Yeah, well.
There are people, Tartars.
Yes, there are Tartars, but not the rest. Anyway, let's not sidetrack there. If I was the Catholic Church, I would stuff this stuff way down deep. Because again, it's going to ruin the storyline, isn't it? things started, according to my Sunday school teacher, 8,000 years ago. Well, from 1960 something. Anyway, it's gone on a bit now.
All right.
Yeah, and we can only speculate what they have there too, but I don't know of any physical proof of Atlantis or Lemuria, and certainly not Tartaria. But the stories are so ingrained in humanity, and I have personal memories of some of that. But there's perhaps the only physical thing I know about of Atlantis is Alf B. Mini in the triangle. What do you call it? Bermuda Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
There they have found underwater structures there, which would line up with the stories of Atlantis. But that's the only physical evidence I've ever heard of. So if they've got something else, it would be really nice to know, frankly. Yeah. About these skeletons and things, well, that's a possibility too. I mean, we hear of all sorts of strange things turning up around the planet, still.
Yeah, but that's very obvious because, like, after they have this like a timeline, and it's separated to before the Great Flood,
Okay.
after the Great Flood, and before all the animals, like giant animals, and then after the flood there are, like, tiny little
ones,
cutie.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that only makes sense that, like, human were huge and then
Yeah.
downsized to us. That's not that strange. Ancient technologies or blueprints from pre-deluge civilizations.
That's pre-flood.
Pre-flood civilization.
Yes.
All right. These are more like,
Yep.
hypotheses.
Oh, more stuff. Wow.
Okay, this one is political secrets and historical cover-ups. Confirmed documents already show the Vatican's deep involvement in world events, alliances with empires, secret treaties, and classified wartime communications. Some allege the hidden archives also contain proof of Vatican collaboration with Nazi Germany and post-war operation like Operation Paperclip and Rat Lines, which is most likely the case.
Yes.
Because they were, like, very, very wise in that sense. Like, okay, who got the power now? Nazi Germany. They're the big dog right now. So let's keep it cool,
Yeah.
Nice and friendly. They hate Jews. They don't hate us. So let's not make a big fuss
point.
about it.
Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. We're Christian. We don't have to involve ourselves in it.
I actually read a little bit about that point. And publicly, there's not a lot available to see, but there is documented evidence that the Austrian Catholic Church helped the Nazis. And by association, that the Vatican would have also. So if you want something specific, apparently there is specific documentation of that. Yeah. Open to the public, I mean. Yeah.
Okay, if you haven't mentioned any citing to all of this so far, is that you have to follow along. Watch it. By the end of the whole thing, you will hear about it all. All the details, all the people that mention all these conspiracies or factual proof and evidence and events. So, yeah. Just a reminder.
Very good.
Yeah. All right.
Shall I read it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the next one. Physical catacombs catacombs, actually. I'll start again. Physical catacombs and underground structures. Beneath the Vatican City lie multiple underground levels, some dating back to Roman times. Beyond the public necropolis, where St. Peter's tomb lies, rumours say deeper sections include sealed tunnels leading to hidden chambers and ancient Roman temples, vaults containing forbidden relics, potentially even extraterrestrial artifacts and advanced technologies, secret meeting rooms where high-ranking clergy or elite groups allegedly gather.
It pretty much is along the line with secret relics and
Yes, yes, it sounds so.
But it says like they have chambers and like structures down there, which is
Well, it doesn't sound surprising. I mean,
not at all.
St. Peter's is a huge structure. So, I mean, it would only follow that, there's something pretty...
Have you been in Vatican? Have you
yes,
visited?
when I was 8 years old.
Oh, that doesn't count.
No, then I haven't. It was a traumatic experience.
Oh.
My brother and I got separated from our family, and the place was full of tourists.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, we couldn't speak a word of Italian. Anyway, it ended well.
All right. Okay, if we want to get through so quickly so far, what's confirmed versus what's been speculated. The confirmed one might shock you. The Vatican possesses immense archives, largely inaccessible to the public, which everybody kind of knows about. Some ancient banned texts and historical records are verifiably stored there. Only selected scholars can request specific documents with tight restrictions, which I don't understand. Why? Who give you the permission to keep texts or books secret?
Well, if you got the power, who cares? You got the power, dude.
That's why they don't want to be under any jurisdictions of any other countries, because then they have to, abide by those laws, and they have to,
yes,
give up all the hush stuff.
Just get your own country, then. There's no problem.
Have your own laws.
Yes,
That's the best way to go about it.
Exactly.
All right, it's speculated the existence of relics, alien artifacts, or suppress historical truths. Subterranean levels containing hidden chambers beyond the known catacombs. These are speculation. And all right, let's see here.
Kind of touched on this.
All right, these are about the lost historical texts and forbidden knowledge. All right. The confirmed part is that the Vatican Archive holds early Christian manuscripts, letters from historical figures like Michelangelo, Galileo, and Henry
VIII,
and papal correspondence dating back over 1,200 years.
Wow. Just going back to Henry VIII, because he's the one that broke away from the Catholic Church and started the Protestant, or the Church of England, because he wanted to divorce one of his wives, and the Pope said no. So Henry said, "Oh, bye then. I'll make my own church."
Over a woman.
Yes.
Oh,
it's true.
How noble of him.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Agnostic and apocryphal gospels, like the Gospel of Thomas and Gospel of Mary Magdalene, are known to exist, though the Vatican downplays their importance. They took it out of the Bible. So what more can they do?
Yes.
Scholars have confirmed the presence of pre-Christian philosophical texts preserved by monks during the fall of Rome, which a lot of information and a lot of history that is like,
For sure. Yeah.
just give us a full picture of our kind of background.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
And these are, we're going to mention some credible speculations here.
Now, shall I read this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just for fun?
Mhm.
Some researchers believe the Vatican possesses scrolls rescued from the Library of Alexandria, possibly smuggled to Rome by early Christian scholars. Fragments of the Book of Enoch, which describes interactions between angels and humans, the Watchers, are confirmed to exist in Ethiopian scripture.
Mm.
But the Vatican's rumored to hold complete versions.
Well, I mentioned that, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then we've got the legendary or conspiratorial.
Mm.
Is there more that can be lifted up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Here's legendary or conspiratorial. Hidden Atlantean or Lemurian texts describing lost civilizations and ancient technologies. Blueprints of the Ark of the Covenant or other sacred relics said to channel divine energy. A unified text combining all known religions into one cosmology, allegedly too destabilizing to release.
No shit.
Yeah, that would kind of do it, wouldn't it?
Yes. All right. The factual sources for the lost historical texts and forbidden knowledge is that the Vatican Apostolic Archives own catalog and descriptions, which is vatican.va.
Horrible word.
And Archivio Apostolico
That sounded better.
Vatican.va. You can check it out to see what.
I've just got an idea, Marnie. Could we put some of this information
I will.
underneath?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have it on the screen while I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
So they're going to read
Okay.
it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. And the academic works, the Vatican Secrets Archives Unknown Pages of Church History by Sergio Pagano,
Yeah.
to each his own. The Agnostic Gospels by Elaine Pagels on texts omitted from the Bible. Fragments of the Book of Enoch verified among the Dead Sea Scrolls. You probably know about the Dead Sea Scrolls. They found like in a small, like kind of in the middle of the desert. Where was it? In Syria?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, they found like scrolls that are ancient, and fragments of Book of Enoch was between those scrolls. A new translation by Michael Wise, Book of Enoch. And these are speculative or legendary evidence for historical texts and forbidden knowledge. Save the Scrolls from the Library of Alexandria first appeared in late 19th century occult literature, not verified though. Atlantean texts and unified religious codex. Modern mythos mainly propagated by authors like Helena Blavatsky. I didn't know that.
No, me.
So she was advocating for that. So evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The Vatican Observatory Research, Vatican Observatory official site. So you can check it out in Vatican Observatory official site. Statements by Father Jose Gabriel Funes in L'Osservatore Romano. I just powered through it.
Yes.
All right. On May 2008, about extraterrestrial life. So Father Jose Gabriel, I'm not going to attempt to read the last name again, apparently stated that there is a extraterrestrial life somehow, and it's just a personal statement. So, however that word, if it words anything. The Lucifer instrument, actually named Lucy, part of the Large Binocular Telescope in Arizona. The acronym was informal and later dropped. Huh. All right. Whatever that means. Why do they need to do that? Creepy stuff, man. All right. Speculative. Claims of Vatican U.S. Corporation on UFO files appear in writers like Dr. Paul Hellier, The Money Mafia, and Timothy Good, above top secret. The Celestial Codex or alien relics beneath the Vatican, no primary evidence, found only in fringe UFO forums and YouTube documentaries. Brother, don't say it says YouTube like YouTube doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you hear in YouTube is fact.
Yeah. You better believe it.
All right. Hidden proof of ancient civilizations. The Vatican museums and archives contain Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and Roman artifacts, verifiable via the Vatican Museum's official collection. Pre-Columbian world maps in European archives. Definitely they have it. Like the Vinland map are real, though their authenticity is debated.
Vinland map, that's the one the Vikings made of the coast of Canada.
Oh, cool.
That's what they called it, Vinland. Yeah.
It's speculative. Tartaria, global pre-flood civilization theories, mainly circulated in alternative history cycles. No peer-reviewed evidence. Well, okay, if they have evidence, it's going to be a peer-reviewed? No. There is this organization, what is it? This... that they kind of control the diggings in USA, and whenever they find something, they jump on it.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? This
I'm not quite there, dude. Sorry.
No worries. It's all right.
No, I don't get it.
Just jump over.
Yep.
All right. Political secrets and historical cover-ups. Documented. These are documented.
Yeah.
Rat lines and Nazi collaboration verified in Vatican's Holocaust by Avro Manhattan, The Pope's Soldier by David Alvarez, and the classified OSS documents. So there you have it.
It's
been actually.
I don't think that's too hard to understand.
Inquisition and Galileo trial records are cataloged in the archives and partially published. So these are documented and a speculative and legendary speculation. Unreleased Fatima secrets, popularized by the third secret of Fatima by Antonio Sacchi or Succhi. Chronovisor, which is the device that is very important because
I know about that. Yeah.
We can talk about the chronovisor for an episode. From Le Novia Misteria du Vatican, 1972. I love the way that I'm reading these names. Yeah. Very poetic. By Father Francois.
Father Francois. Brun. No technical evidence.
Huh. No technical evidence, huh? All right. Physical catacombs and underground structures. Documented. These are documented. The Vatican necropolis excavation 1940s to 1950s, officially documented in the tomb of St. Peter by Margherita Guardocci. Subterranean Roman temples beneath the basilica verified by archaeological reports. So these were, it's weird because whenever we went on our feelings, and I did research, but I couldn't remember all of it. Whenever we had the feelings about some of them, like, oh, this is true. It turns out it is some truth to it, at least.
It's got some documentation. Yeah.
So,
good.
All right. Hall of Records or interdimensional chambers. Mythic parallels to Edgar Cayce's prophecies. No physical proof. So, based on what we just went through, 20% of the material were verified historical facts.
Okay.
And if we didn't go through this, you would probably think like, oh, it's all just BS. But 20% of it is, verified historical facts.
Cool.
And the rest is like, some of them is unverifiable but plausible, and 50% of it is like pure legend and conspiracy lore, which doesn't say it's wrong, it's just there's no proof for it.
Just unknown.
Yeah. So
that's good. Good to get some perspective on that, eh?
Yeah. The Vatican really does hold massive archives of restricted documents and genuine historical treasures. However, the alien artifacts, chronovisors, giants, and Atlantean texts remain unsubstantiated stories repeated by alternative researchers, not confirmed evidence. Yeah.
Oh, we've got plenty of reference for followers to check up.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put all these references for each one of the points that we discussed here. You can, check it out and read it for yourself and see what you get out of it.
There are a lot of other things that you said we could follow up, like that chronograph thing. I know a little bit about that.
Me too, chronovisor,
Yeah, chronovisor. That you could... It was like a TV screen that you could look into the past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And future.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well,
I think
great.
The future part I just, guessed.
I wouldn't mind one of those.
And that would be handy, right?
Or not.
All right.
Well.
I think we can, for now, keep it at that. And
yes, that's very interesting, Marnie.
Yeah, it's very interesting to know that, even though most of it was speculative, but there is no like a smoke without fire.
Of course.
Maybe not to this level, not to this degree, but there are like shady stuff happening.
Yes.
There are like knowledge that has been suppressed.
And I wonder what we suppress in ourselves, followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good thing. It means we've got more to explore, to discover. I don't think it is a negative thing at all within us. It's exciting.
Think, to be fair, the person that you lied most to is yourself.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes people live in like a version of life, or they have a version of themselves in their mind that doesn't exist. And they're a little delusional about it. They're so afraid to face their truth.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to be really vulnerable and accepting to face both your reality and your true self. But that's a starting point. If you want to get anywhere in life, if you want to, make any change, you have to start with the person in the mirror.
Exactly. It's very exciting, and it's an ongoing thing I have discovered. There are layers and layers of it. But to me, it's been fantastic. It's nothing, no monsters, just good stuff, actually, that we feel might be monsters.
Yeah. How was my Latin, by the way?
Yeah.
Was that Latin or Italian? I don't know.
I think it's Italian, but it's pretty close to the same thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, good on you. Yeah.
Sounds the same for me.
Better than I can.
All right, then. Let's...
Thank you, Moni. It's very
Thank
interesting.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, we should maybe pay a site visit sometime.
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot more to talk about, and we're going to come back to this. But this was just, we touched on some, interesting topics about the Vatican.
Bravo.
Okay, guys, let us know if you like what we did today and if you like us to dig deeper and like give you a deep dive on all these single topics. And let us know what you think, what you believe. See you next time.
Next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.